Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit and hang out with all of you. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes. And if you just feel like being a lurker and you don't want to say anything, well, you can just do that. Also, you should throw the Bear Cave Lego Site Tier 2 blue emote into chat so that we can properly thank Aristofan, who has been subscribed for 69 months. Nice. Welcome. Thank you very much for your continued support. Aristofan, our Tier 2 subscriber. Thank you so much for the 69 months. That is very nice indeed. Also, hello to Lashbrook and Ghost Valve. Welcome, welcome. It's Saturday night. That's a great night for model kit building. We've got the Gundam Astray Gold Frame Amatsu Mina that we are working on here. And I'm very excited to work on that kit. It is full of gold and black and stickers. It's got so many goddamn stickers, but it looks radical. So it's okay that it has every goddamn sticker on the planet on it. Also resubbing is Bobby Dice Roller, so we should also throw the Bear Cave Lego Site Tier 2 blue emote into chat if you're a Tier 2. And thank Bobby Dice Roller for 41 months. That's so many months as well. That's a fantastic amount of months. Thank you very much, Bobby. Appreciate you very, very much. Speaking of subscribers, I'll just say it up top, and we'll talk about it maybe later as well. Currently at, boom, 35 subscribers. The goal is to get to 50. I shut up about how many subscribers I have when I get to 50, and then when I drop below 50, I bring it up again, and it's a vicious cycle. Now, the way to solve that is for me to always have 51 subscribers, but that's unreasonable. So if you want to become a subscriber, you can do that. If you and if you don't, you don't have to. That's also an option. You've got like so many options, folks. Being a subscriber is one of them. I am excited to work on this model kit. I think we'll get going on it. I don't think we need to delay anymore, but I will say that Bobby wrote something and I'm going to read that first. Thanks for the continued entertainment, says Bobby. You're one of the most consistent streamers I follow on here, and I really appreciate that. Thank you, Bobby. Yeah. As I start to get into this kit, I will say, one of the things that I pride myself on is that I consistently stream. Now, recently we had that Thursday where I couldn't stream a week from 2 days ago. Couldn't stream last minute. That has been few and far between. And Aristofan has gifted a sub. Thank you so much, Aristofan. Appreciate you very much. We can do the overhead camera clapping. Welcome, Deduska. To the old Build with Bear. We're currently at 36 subscribers. That's rad. That's very cool. Appreciate you very much for that gifted sub, Aristofan. Yeah, no, I try to be consistent. I did run into that issue where I couldn't stream, and I was very annoyed by that. But I do my best to be a consistent streamer that when I stream is when I stream, and I'm there all the time. I have had times in the past, but you know, in another lifetime, I'm going to actually knock my mic down one notch there. In another lifetime where I was in charge of a lot of people, there were times where I had to just cancel a stream. There was one stream, this is years ago now. This is probably 2018 probably, yeah. So fucking years. What am I even talking about? 6 years ago. Who cares? But 2018, I was streaming and I had my phone near me, text message just going, hey, I'm not going to come back. And what had happened was one of my employees walked off the job. And so I had to say, hey, folks, I got to go to work. And I had to just go to work because one of my employees had quit. He had just decided he wasn't going to do it anymore. He had felt disrespected and was going to suffer no more foolishness, which I was not thrilled about. I understood it in that line of work, certainly, but I wasn't thrilled about it. We ended up hiring him back pretty soon after with some concessions and understanding on both sides. But yeah, I remember there was one time I was just like, folks, I got to go into work. Sorry. Work stuff was tough. Now, I don't have that problem these days, what with being this my major thing that I do. And almost never does it come up. Now, I do have a contract, I'm a contracted employee with a customer service group, or a group that has a customer service department, I should say. And I don't make these times available. Now, does that hurt me? Honestly, not really. Because of when I stream 9 p.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. Eastern, it generally means that uh, I I'm a sub for them. Like I'm not. I don't have there's days here and there. Yes, of course, stuff does happen. But for that contract employee job that I have there, for customer service, uh, they don't always give the most notice, but they generally give a pretty good amount of notice if they need covers. And generally, that nighttime shift is done by folks that are contracted out of the Ukraine, or sometimes out of Norway. There are a few Norwegian folks as well. But generally, that hemisphere handles a lot of the shifts that we don't want to handle. So it doesn't come up. Occasionally it comes up where like they want me to work till like 7 or something. And then I have to like kind of scramble. There was a day not too long. This was like probably a year ago. There was a Saturday where I had done a bunch of work for the other company I work for the most on a Friday. I'd worked all day on Friday, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna prep for all of the anime that I'm gonna be watching, because at that time I think my Saturday was like 4 shows and 3 were on Friday. So I was like, I'm gonna watch all 3, because usually I would split them up, and then I would watch one on the Saturday. But then I got asked to work that Saturday till like 8:30. So that Saturday, I worked like 7 hours doing customer service. It was around the holidays, and then shoved food into my mouth and then streamed. And I was like, sorry, I only watched 3 of the 4 shows that I usually talk about. And there was one comment from somebody who was just like, "Aw, I really look forward to talking about that show because you're the only person I know who watches it." And I was like, gutted. I would still today, if that came up, if I was like, I didn't watch today's episode or this week's episode of Windbreaker, sorry, we'll talk about it on Monday, and someone in chat was just like, but I want to talk about Windbreaker, I'd be like so gutted still. Like that hasn't gone away. Like that a week ago Thursday, I was pissed off. I mean, one, because I didn't know ahead of time and I had gone through and promoted, but two, because like I know that some of y'all like look forward to it. I don't think there's anything wrong or shameful for me to be aware of that for some of y'all, this is a thing that you look forward to as much as I do. That this is part of your Saturday. And it should go without saying that I am aware of that and very much appreciate that. And for the folks that are like, oh yeah, I don't watch every stream, I am not saying you need to. Maybe it's a weird thing to say, but maybe 8 hours a week of me is too many hours. That's completely reasonable. If you were like, Pat, I'm not watching, oh, I don't watch on Mondays because I have a thing. Yeah. I mean, the Monday streams are great, but like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. It's 8 hours of me is a lot. Or if you don't watch the gaming streams or the anime, like the long form anime talking streams, like if that's not your jam, like totally, I get it. I'm a lot. I am aware that I am a lot. So I get that. Did I miss a step on these? Let me look real quick here. Before we put all the leg together, I'm looking and it like doesn't quite. Oh, okay. They go like this. That's why. I was looking at it backwards. It's just a cool feeling, know your schedule, and like, oh yeah, Pat's on tonight without checking everything. Yes, you don't have to look at my tweets or my skeets or my I don't know what they call Mastodon posts, but you don't have to look anywhere to know that I'm streaming because I'm fairly consistent. Like, the next time I don't think I'm going to be streaming on my normal broadcast is June 22nd. I am taking that night off because I'm streaming on June 21st, which is a Friday. That'll be my birthday subathon. They call them toots. Yeah, you don't have to follow. Thank you, Ghost Valve. I believe you're correct, actually. I do believe that they're referred to as toots. Yeah, you don't have to check out my toots to know that I'm streaming. You might want to know what I'm building. Check in on that. Or if it's a Tuesday, you might want to know. I think right now I'm just building one leg, and then we'll build the other parts. Okay, so these can go over here. This is going to be essential. Some of this we're doing at the same time. Some of them we're doing on their own. So we'll figure it out as we go. But yeah, you don't have to check out my toots, but sometimes you want to know, like, what game am I playing on a Tuesday? Or like, maybe you hate tier lists. And so the tier maker thing that I did 2 weeks ago, you'd be like, no, I don't want to watch that stream. You know, things like that can come up. What do I want to talk about tonight? Well, wrestling. There's a big wrestling pay-per-view tomorrow night. I'll be watching it with friends, and I'll be having a good time with that. Digitally, we'll all be hanging out in a Discord together, chatting about the show, which is always fun. So we'll be doing that. But there was also a wrestling pay-per-view this afternoon, or as the WWE refers to them, a premium live event, because you get it included with the network internationally or in the United States, Peacock. So it is probably a bit disingenuous to refer to it as the other. Is this the wrong pieces? Yeah. A17 is one of these two. This is A17. I don't need this piece yet. I pulled out the wrong one. I got thinking too much about this and pulled out the wrong piece. Now I have the right piece. D18 and the D17 will be the other half. So D18 is... the black is a little hard to read. But yeah, there was a premium live event today, King and Queen of the Ring. I did not watch it because I understand if folks are just like, yeah, I kind of just want to know, I want to watch them because I watch them. I'm not in favor of the government of Saudi Arabia and the use of WWE as sports washing, and particularly with the women's divisions. The fact that there were 3 women's matches on a card of 6 it's one of those things where you're like, on the one hand, when half the matches on a premium live event are women, that's fucking rad. That's cool as hell. And in fact, one of them was a tag match. The only tag match of the night was women. So 8 women competed, or of the day, 8 women competed. And like, that's rad as fuck. And I want to be psyched about that. But then the other hand, the other side of it is that it was in Saudi Arabia. And it was propaganda. It was part of a propaganda campaign. And that sucks ass. And there's no good part of that. So I don't watch the shows, but I do pay attention to what happens to them, because originally the Saudi Arabia shows were kind of just like, didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. That has changed. There was a title change, so that is important to at least acknowledge and understand that there was a title change on the show. And then just in general, it's kind of good to be like, all right, well, like, what are we doing here? Who's doing what? Who's the king of the ring? Who's the queen of the ring? It's kind of good to know that stuff. So we'll cover it. Again, I did not watch the show. I watched a clip of one event that we'll get to at the end of it, or towards the end of it, that was wild that it happened. But other than that, in the pre-show, an added match that was not included. This came about, I think, after the events of what happened on SmackDown the previous night. Last night, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill put up their WWE Women's Tag Championship belts on the line in a tag match against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. Uh, and I don't know anything about that match except it was pretty short and that it was pretty formulaic in the way that Bianca has an injury in kayfabe, and so the heels exploited said injury as best they could to try to win the belts. I can't get this back piece on. This is going to be, as always, this is going to go great for me when it's time to do the other leg because I will have figured out what I did wrong on this leg. I know this piece is right, and I know this piece is right. This feels right. This looks right. This is set right. So then this piece needs to go into the empty space here. Like that. Maybe like that. Like that. Yeah, okay. That feels right. Okay, that I think feels right. And then this will connect. I think I have the wrong piece on here. Yes. When in doubt, double check to make sure, is that the right piece or did I take out the wrong one? I took out the wrong one. Another piece that I took out that is incorrect. There's no sense forcing things, folks, when you can take a deep breath and take a look at it and go, am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? Do I have the right piece? The answer was, I was doing it correctly, but I did not have the correct piece on it. And then this should theoretically all snap together and look neat, and it does. It looks so fucking good. God damn, this gold is beautiful. All right. Now, there's some other armor that's going to go on the outside, but for now, I am going to panel line this as it is here, and then I will add on some other stuff because I feel like it's going to be harder to panel line some of this once I add some of the outside armor. So that was our pre-show match. The opening contest was a title defense, the Women's World Championship. Becky Lynch put her belt on the line against Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan has taken credit for Rhea Ripley's injury. She is a heel, and she won the belt. She defeated Becky Lynch. Dominic Mysterio came out to try to help Becky Lynch, and you're like, that doesn't make sense. But you have to remember that Liv took out his girlfriend. Hey, Lord Crashington. So in response, Dom wanted to make sure that Becky kept the belt so that Rhea could beat Becky for it, basically. But there was a double cross, maybe a sneaky double cross. They made it seem like it wasn't intentional, but it was probably intentional. But anyway, Liv Morgan. I'm not loving this particular characterization of Liv, but I think Liv is a better worker than people ever have given her credit for. And I think she'll do well with that belt on Monday as the top heel. And then it'll be interesting to see where things go from there. In the match that was obvious from the get-go of who was going to win and who was going to lose, Sami Zayn defeated Chad Gable and Bronson Reed via pinfall, retaining his Intercontinental Championship. This one was an obvious one. There was no way he wasn't going to win. Not just because Sami is a great international champion, but also because in the continuation of the washing via sports, their most famous Muslim wrestler is going to retain his belt. Like, yeah, come on, he was going to keep it. Let's see, Nia Jax, who was the SmackDown winner of the Queen of the Ring tournament to get to the finals, faced Lyra Valkyria from Raw, and Nia Jax is the Queen of the Ring. She will have a chance at the WWE Women's Championship at SummerSlam, currently held by Bayley. And that is exactly what I was thinking was going to happen. Nia Jax being Queen of the Ring is somewhat comical because she is not particularly skilled as a wrestler. She has gotten better as a wrestler, especially in her comeback. And she is a force. She is a dominating force in the ring. They were already teasing her and Bayley. Now, do I think Bayley is going to have the belt at SummerSlam? Yeah. It seems like we're moving towards Bailey versus Piper Niven at Clash at the Castle. Piper Niven is Scottish. Clash will be there, so Bailey might, but Bailey is loved in Europe, so it might be two baby faces fighting, or the crowd might just be like, we're still gonna boo you even though you're Scottish. I'm not sure what they're gonna do with her, but yeah, we're probably gonna have Nia and Bailey at SummerSlam, which makes sense. And then in a match that apparently took a very long time and was a slow pace, but like cool as hell, Gunther from Raw defeated Randy Orton from SmackDown to become the King of the Ring. He did not want to wear the crown, which is very Gunther. Now, a thing that has been shared online that I looked at and watched the clips of, the only clip I've seen of the show, featured Gunther. He kicked out of a RKO pinfall, and in kicking out, he bashed Randy Orton's knee. Randy Orton had been selling the knee the whole time, and that allowed the crucifix pin to pin Randy Orton for the 3 count, winning it for Gunther, who up until this point in the tournament had won every round with a submission. Hey, Harold, welcome. But this was his first victory that was not submission. There is one problem with that turn of events. Gunther winning makes total sense to me. He's going to get a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship on Raw. That's excellent. I love Gunther as King of the Ring. I think that brings a lot of prestige back to this, which has been very hit or miss over the years. I think it's fantastic that he won. I'm a big fan of that. I'm not trying to say I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not the biggest fan of the referee clearly seeing that one of Randy Orton's shoulders was not down on the mat at all. It's not like his shoulder moved and he like nudged out of it. One of his shoulders just was not up the entire 3 count. And the referee just had to ignore it. And I feel like the referee shouldn't have ignored it. I feel like Randy Orton should have kicked out, and then they would have run a different spot and figured out a different spot that would have worked in that position. I need D21 is here. There's D21. So that was a botch that was not great. But otherwise, and I got Triple H, I guess, in the press conference, just like, I'd be happy to run it back as a rematch, but it's final. Referee's decision stands. And then, so that's a bit of a shame. But in our main event, Cody Rhodes successfully defended the undisputed WWE Championship against Logan Paul, and our national nightmare is over. No, there was nothing that he was gonna do it. There was not a world where Logan Paul was going to be the WWE undisputed champion. He is the United States champion right now, until he, in my opinion, is going to lose it. He's going to lose it at SummerSlam in his hometown to, I think, LA Knight. That's my guess. Is going to be LA Knight is going to be the one to take the belt from him. But either way, he's going to probably drop it there. This match reportedly was solid. There was a point where Logan Paul going into it was like, because Logan Paul, a lot of his wins, almost all of his wins have involved him using brass knuckles, which is legal. And Cody was just like, you can't win without them. And he was like, I'm not even going to bring them. I'm not even bringing them to Saudi Arabia. I don't need them. And then he went to go use his brass knuckles because, of course, he did, because he's a heel. And then he went to use them. And then the guest ring announcer for the main event, who is a Saudi Arabian actor, like stopped him by grabbing his leg and preventing him from from doing it. So Cody got an assist from the one of the biggest stars of in Saudi Arabia, because you gotta pop the hometown crowd, and that popped him good. This gentleman last year gave a people's elbow to a wrestler on purpose. That was planned. It was not. He didn't go rogue and just go, "I want to do that." He'd been interviewed and got attacked, and he dropped the people's elbow on somebody in the crowd. Liked that a lot. Unsurprisingly, they were into that. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Logan Paul got his second in a row of the Saudi Arabia money. It's perfect. We did not see CM Punk there. He is currently injured, so it makes all the sense in the world that he would not be there. But people are waiting for, because he was very, very outspoken in thinking that it was shit that WWE wrestlers were going there and that nobody was backing out of doing it. But people are waiting to find out if he's gonna, when he is on top of the world and hot, will he try to skip out on that show? One other thing, we know what the main event, most likely main event, but at least we know what one of the world title matches is going to be. Damian Priest will defend his World Heavyweight Championship next month in Scotland for Clash at the Castle, defending the title against Drew McIntyre, who is a heel but will be loved because he's Scottish. They were in Wales last year for Clash at the Castle. He didn't win in Wales. I feel like he's got to win. Tickets are so expensive for this event that if he doesn't win, I think they might riot. Piper Niven not winning, I can see that, and people being okay. There are some other Scottish lads on the NXT roster that I could see doing something in the show. I feel like there will be some Scottish winners and losers, but if Drew McIntyre doesn't win the big one in Scotland, I feel like people will lose their goddamn minds in a scary way. So we'll see. I don't remember, is that show on a Saturday or is it on a Sunday? I gotta see. NXT Battleground is the next show. No, I don't care about that. Clash of the Castle. When is that on? It does not say. That is a June 15th show. June 15th is a Saturday, but I do not know if that is a Saturday evening or a Saturday during the day. They have not said yet. Because if it's during the day, then I can watch it before this stream. But if it's at night, then I'm not going to watch it live. I'll have to investigate everybody. Because they might do it in the evening locally and then just broadcast it whenever they want to broadcast it. They might do that. So if they do that, that would be great for me. I would love that. All right. K15 is Missy. Where's... Uh-oh. Where's that piece? Has anybody seen... Where... Anybody ever seen the piece of the... This is the piece that I took off on Thursday by mistake. And so it should be over here. And it is not... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't know where this piece is. Because on Thursday I took off... I went to build the leg and I used the wrong piece. This is D7, or this is K17, and I need K15, which is the other part of the leg. And I don't fucking see it. Uh-oh. It is... I am now just kind of looking around. Because I would have... When I take a piece off that's wrong, I put it... there's a space that I put them. Like this is the piece of the leg that I took off wrong today. Okay. Find it. Again, yeah, I think this is the piece I took off on Thursday. So that's not there. That's not there. It's not there. It's not there. Uh-oh. 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 I didn't put it there by mistake. No. All right. And did it fall on the floor? All right. So we are going to skip the foot because I don't know where this piece is. So we are going to work on the leg here. We're just going to move on to the leg because, again, I don't know where the other piece of the foot is. And until I find it, I can't really build the foot. So I got to go dig around for that. I'm just looking right now. I'm looking on the floor because it probably fell out when I was doing other things. Shit, yeah. All right, so collective decision. I am going to move on and work on the leg, and then I will find the other piece of the foot that I need. At some point, it will magically appear. It is most likely fell on the floor somewhere here in my room. Actually, no, I found it, everybody. Ha-ha. If you're wondering where this piece that I could not find it was right over here. It was below my microphone, so I couldn't see it. And as I was leaning back, I happened to glance over, and I found it. So we can move on with the foot, because I do have the part that I need for that. That's a best case scenario. I wasted a little time on that. Sucks, but the part is not missing forever. And also, we can continue to work on the kit. So that's great. It worked out okay in the end. My apologies for not knowing where that was. All right. Right now, Collision is happening. I was hoping that they would announce another match for the pre-show. They have not so far announced that, but I can tell you about what's happening tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be watching a show, so we'll talk. Actually, we'll really just get into it on Monday. We'll talk through all that. Thunder Rosa versus Deonna Purrazzo got added as a pre-show match for Double or Nothing. And that's cool. That is a cool bit of business. I imagine that's going to be a good match. That does mean that there are 6 women on the card between pre-show and the show, and that's awesome. That is also a match that has a storyline for several weeks and also does not involve a title. It is a women's match that is not revolving around a title or a tournament, and that is unbelievably rare. It is unbelievably rare that there is a storyline involving women in AEW that is not about a belt or a tournament win or anything like that. It is just these two people don't like each other. They're mad at each other, and now one of them is a heel and the other is a babyface, and they're going to wrestle. And that is beautiful. That's gorgeous. We love that. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm going to watch Collision. I'm going to watch the West Coast version of Collision as soon as the stream is over tonight, and that'll be real good. Let's see. Okay, so I have a story to talk to you about that we found out about yesterday, and then a follow-up from that story that I believe went up today. Okay, so the Swedish group Fragbite has declared bankruptcy for a developer they own named Fall Damage. Fall Damage have been working on the free-to-play first-person shooter Alara Prime. They have been they bought a studio, and then they have apparently had trouble getting a publishing deal together for said studio and this game, and so they've declared bankruptcy. And bankruptcy will hopefully, for them in Sweden, will hopefully lead them to figuring out how to turn a profit with it and protections. They have not laid off staff. They have not closed the studio. And they're basically like, we have a fundamental, and basically they're like, hey, just because Fall Damage isn't doing well doesn't mean that we're doing poorly. That was their big takeaway, was that this was a thing from Fragbite. Fragbite said, the company affirmed it has fundamentally stable, profitable core business for the 2024-2025 fiscal year. So they were like, hey, things are not looking great for our studio that we own, that we bought last year, that we bought in 2023 in October. Even though we're now having that company declare, or that developer declare bankruptcy, we're okay. So that was yesterday's story. There's been an update, and it's kind of a shocking one. Fragbite CEO Marcus Tellman has resigned to pursue new challenges. One day later, that's today, so one day later, they're like, and the CEO is stepping down. Stefan Tengvall will be the interim CEO. He was the chairman of the board. There will be a new interim chairman of the board. And basically they're like, hey, this sounds great. Good. Wish them the best of luck in the future. And they're basically like, we are going to work on a cost reduction program, which might end up being layoffs, but they have not said layoffs. Yeah, they're trying to turn a profit. And then I will say the new CEO was like, we're doing this thing. We're doing some stuff to try to reduce costs. I have successfully done this in the past, which, that's good for shareholders. And a reminder that Fragbite acquired Fall Damage in October 2023 for $1.8 million, the equivalent of $1.8 million. And then they declared the studio bankrupt. And if you're unfamiliar with Fall Damage, they are, in 2017, they were formed. So they existed on their own for 6 years before being bought. And they were, or they are, founded by a bunch of DICE developers who left DICE to form their own thing that eventually got sold and moved around and then declared bankruptcy on. And they're going to try to repay some debts. Apparently there are a lot of debts. But yeah, a CEO has stepped down after there were issues with the company. That is unheard of. Obviously, this is a small company, and it also could just be him getting out while the getting's not great. It could be a sign of future trouble with that studio or that publisher or parent company, I should say. But it still was interesting to see some sort of shenanigans take place. Let's see. Any video game news here? Polygon has no new news since Thursday that matters to me. I know that some of you have played Dave the Diver. I know there are some Dave the Diver heads out there. There is free DLC. There's Godzilla DLC, and apparently that is for a let's see. Yeah, that came out. Free DLC for people that already own Dave the Diver on the Switch, PlayStation 5, and Windows PC via Steam. But you can only download it until November 23rd. So you'll be able to keep it, but you can't. But after November 23rd, you can't just be like, oh, you know what? I never got that DLC. So if you have Dave the Diver and you would like to have that DLC, make sure that you get it. So that way you definitely have it. That was just a PSA. You got to turn Godzilla into sushi. But yeah, I mean, you want to have it in there. And they're like, this article from Polygon is like, why? That's not entirely clear. But apparently, we're assuming that it is licensing, which makes sense. So they'd be like, a limited partnership is probably the reason. But I do like the Polygons. Why? They're like, why? We actually don't know, and we don't want to like be wrong about it, which I can appreciate. Apparently, yeah, Godzilla. The DLC brings Godzilla and a giant lobster kaiju to Dave the Diver. Yeah, and there's some fighting and such. And apparently, it is a pretty short bit of DLC. That's cool and weird. That is some cool weird shit. So I thought I would bring that up because that seemed neat. Okay, there's the frag bite thing. Let's see. What else can we talk about here in the world of gaming? Because we're doing a little gaming chat now. There was a big interview with a publisher, the CEO and co-founder Tim Bender of Manor Lords, publisher Hooded Horse. Sorry, it's Hooded Horse. Hooded Horse published Manor Lords, and the gist of his interview is saying, "Hey, we just did what we were supposed to do. Like, we don't take a lot of credit for the game being good. Like, that's kind of our job, is to like make sure that the games come out in a good state. But like, don't." What is the quote? When I talk to developers, I tell them it's a little unfair to judge us by Manor Lords in the way that you're being too favorable towards us. It's like refreshing. This was just a refreshing thing. Manor Lords has amassed 3.2 million Steam wish lists and topped 2 million sales in under 3 weeks. So, it had a good start, and then it has continued to do well for them, which is rad. Publishers shouldn't be judged by the biggest hit. In the end, I think the best way to judge a publisher is by the spread of all of their games, how they treat their games that went badly. Again, these are reasonable things in a industry that is not always reasonable, and therefore it stands out, even if it is common sense things like, yeah, don't just look at their successes. Look at what else is there. So Snuffy, I just want to say, I know you put LOL there, but don't put in something that's a lie, like as a joke, because I can't understand context in text form. You know what I mean? I can, but it's hard. So like, I know you're making a joke, but like, don't write that. You know what I'm saying? Don't write LOL RP double fine. Because they're not done, and that's just weird. That's just a weird thing to write in a chat box. Just a strange thing to put in there. So, okay, I guess I guess is the publishing branch of Double Fine. I guess that says that. I don't know. I guess so. I don't know. If you want some numbers to reflect the larger stuff, look at the median performance. but not the mean, because the average can always be dragged by those big hits, but the median is telling. Really, it's the consistency across their portfolio and how they worked on those games that didn't perform too well, how they support those developers, and whether they stand by them. Which, again, I will say I don't think necessarily works with how you're putting it, but whatever. But yeah, I would say in general, RIP, a developer that is owned by Microsoft is maybe a touchy subject in this day and age. What with the current goings on at Microsoft. For a second there, I was like, did I miss a late breaking piece of news about Double Fine? But no, I hadn't. But yeah, I thought that was kind of a fun article, interesting, from the publisher. Let's see, any wrestling news? Want to see here? The third annual Owen Hart Cup tournament is returning to AEW. The finals will be in Calgary again, Calgary, Alberta, Canada, where Stampede Wrestling took place, which makes a lot of sense. And I know a lot of people were like, why does it keep happening around Forbidden Door? And I don't have a good answer for that. I think the calendar is just stacked for AEW. So Forbidden Door will happen while that's happening. And last year there was 2 matches on the Forbidden Door card that had implications for the tournament. And that might happen again. Who knows? That was CM Punk and Kojima, where Kojima did a elbow drop that landed on CM Punk's dick, definitely. And there was a tournament round of the women's that was in the pre-show that did not feature Japanese talent, which is weird for Forbidden Door, but whatever. Not, unfortunately, that rare. Yes, no, this was not Hideo. This is Satori Kojima. This is the guy that loves bread. If you ever heard about the wrestler that runs Bread Club, that is Kojima. The man loves bread. That is a thing that he enjoys. That's just a thing that he likes a lot. But yeah, that'll be happening again. Let's see, any other news stories? We'll see if. Yeah, okay. No new Double or Nothing matches planned. Occasionally, on a weekend, websites will go and update on the wrestlers and how many are injured and all of that. Apparently, about 14.9% of AEW's roster is currently injured. And for WWE, that is about 13%. And that's a lot. There are a lot of talent that are currently injured. Some are minor injuries. They'll be back. Like Drew McIntyre is probably part of that 12%, but is already back at it. M15. There it is. But that doesn't account for everybody. Like Eddie Kingston's going to be out for a really long time. CM Punk is going to be out for a very long time. There are plenty of wrestlers at both companies that are on the injured list and will probably, unfortunately, be in that way for a while. Some folks, there are rumors MJF is going to be back any day now and is healed and ready to go. People are wondering about Jamie Hayter, if she's coming back. People are unsure about Miro because is Miro injured? Is he going through a divorce? Yes. Is he both injured and going through a divorce? Maybe. So, we don't know what's going on with Miro. But it'll be interesting to see if he's back at any point. Powerhouse Hobbs is getting knee surgery. Julia Hart had surgery and is theoretically coming back soon. They might hold off MJF coming back because he would be coming back to feud with Adam Cole, who is not well enough to be there wrestling. So it's like some of that stuff is just up in the air. Be interesting to see where it all shakes out. Who's cleared and when they're cleared is a question. But it'll be all right. Apparently Jimmy Uso is taking a little time off because he's had some nagging injuries. Rhea Ripley's out for a while. Charlotte Flair hasn't been back yet, which I've been, I'd like her to be healthy, but I'm not necessarily missing her in the ring with the current talent that is there. Kind of not super missing Charlotte, but I know that she'll be back because it's Charlotte. She'll be back. All right, so we need that. Not this piece here. Did I miss a piece? Yes. I was like, did I miss a piece that I needed? And the answer was yes, I did. Let's see. Anything else going on in the world of wrestling here? Let's look at Fightful. Anything here? I have not watched. Apparently there is another Double or Nothing buy-in match has been announced. The Acclaimed are going to face Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony, who Brian Cage referred to during Rampage as the Cage of Agony, which is fine. That's the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass, I guess, if it's going to be 3-on-3, which is a shame because I was hoping once they lost their titles, the trios titles, that the Acclaimed would focus on tag, but apparently not. There was a 4-way tag match on Collision, and I guess the fallout of that is giving us another pre-show match, which doesn't seem like the worst idea in the world, but it is not one that I'm like, ooh, that gets me going and makes me very excited. Like, it's fine. I'm bummed because I like the Acclaimed, but the Acclaimed have not been booked well in quite some time. And Max Caster is kind of a fucking asshole. So, can only overlook the assholeness so much. Acclaimed and Daddy Ass taking on Brian Cage and Gates of Agony in a trios match at Double or Nothing as part of the buy-in. So that's... Sure. I think that'll be fine. So far, I believe that is the only other one besides Tiana versus Thunder, which will be really solid. So, let's see. That has not been added to the Wikipedia page yet. So, I'm glad I looked at Fightful for that. Thank you, Fightful, for letting me know. Let's see. Also, the president, the wrestling president of New Japan, made a surprise appearance and wrestled in a trios match tonight on Collision. Hiroshi Tanahashi showed up, and he was the mystery partner for Claudio Castagnoli and who else was tagged with? He tagged with Daniel Garcia. So now, Lance Archer and the Righteous have a tag team match against Tanahashi, of all people. It's very weird. It's so weird they didn't tease it out in any way. Yes, they didn't even mention it. Like, they didn't promote it on Rampage, even like the night before. He tweeted today that was going to happen, that there was going to be a surprise that he flew in. And I guess maybe, hey, Tanahashi, you're going to be here for Double or Nothing because there's a eliminator match for the belt of your company. Yeah, sure. Actually, I'll be in that day. Like, oh, can we work on a match? Like, I guess those conversations took longer than necessary, but like, it is wild to make that a surprise. when the show is the go home show for your pay-per-view, and that show is on a network it's not normally on. It's on TBS instead of TNT tonight. So like, yeah, that's just, it's just a little weird. It's just a little weird. It's cool though, but weird. Tony Storm fucking rules. Apparently she had a promo. I was about to say, I mean, really, a monologue is the right way to put it. Apparently she had a monologue during Collision and said, this is for everyone who thinks that they've had a sad little that they've had a sad little life. It entitles them to some kind of reward. Nothing happens for a reason. Things just happen. If everything happened for a reason, then there would be one main event at Double or Nothing, and it would be me talking for 40 minutes while you sit around and analyze my words like a Zapruder film. No, instead of a fight for my life against a woman who thinks twitching on the floor is a sign from the universe that she should keep wrestling. Fucking rules. I love that. Yeah, because there's 3 main events tomorrow night. Tony Storm is not in one of the 3. I love that. It would be me talking for 40 minutes. Tony Storm fucking rules. Can't wait to see that monologue or that promo tonight. Very good. I fully expect Tony Storm to retain her belt. I don't think Serena Deeb's going to win it. God. The saddest part about your life is that you thought it had any meaning at all. Don't worry. In your obituary, they will mention that you once lost to the champ. Jesus. Tony Storm fucking rules. God damn. So much respect for that weirdo. She was weird for so many years and we didn't know. We had no idea how weird she was. It's so great to watch that being showcased on television on a weekly fucking basis. Oh, wonderfully weird. Love her to death. We were working on the waist of this kit. We will pause our thing. We'll do a pause for the cause. Talk about ways you can support the channel. Do all that. I'm going to get this poly cap in. Then we can take a short little break of me talking about ways you can support what I do and all that. I got to get this piece in right here. Yeah. Lord Crashman wants me to the dance button. Even before my pause for the cause? Sure. I'll hit the dance button right now. No problem at all. Here's the dance button. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then clap, 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 clap. Quiet claps. Then it builds. And then I fade it out. That's a great transition to this. Hey, friends. Now is the part of the stream where I'm going to talk to you. That's right, you, the watching audience. And I'm going to tell you about ways that you can support what I do here through money, financial ways to support what I do here. Everything I'm about to tell you is optional. You are under no obligation to do any of these things. If you would like to, I would love to have it. I'm going to talk for like 5 minutes about it. Then we'll get back to model kit building. I'm going to talk about manga and anime that I've been reading and watching respectively. But yeah, right now I'm going to promote myself a little bit. If you are currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here. So if you'd like to become a subscriber, much like we've had Bobby and Aristofan renew today, which is great, feel free to do that. Jump into the old stream. As a subscriber, you get cool emotes. You don't see ads during the stream. It works out pretty all right. I would appreciate it. Now, if you are not interested in doing that through Cash Money, maybe you're an Amazon Prime user and you have your Amazon Prime account, you get that Twitch Prime. You can use that for anybody. You could use that for me. Also, there is the option, if you're so inclined, you could gift a sub, like Aristofan did. You could join the gift sub leaderboard with Mjan and Aristofan. That's another way to support what I do here. And that would be rad if you want to do that. Again, you don't have to, but if you wanted to, you could. Um, that's the easiest way because you're already here on Twitch and you're probably already using, you probably subscribe to somebody. Maybe you don't, but you might. But there's another way to support what I do here, and that is through Patreon. At patreon.com/PatBear, there's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier over on Patreon. There are different rewards for the different tiers. Consider joining my Patreon. Literally today, I put up a video for all levels, all tiers on Patreon. It's my monthly Q&A that I do over on Patreon. It's the only exclusive content that I do. Every month I answer 2 or 3, generally 2, so even once in a while 1, questions that have been posed to me by the community, and I throw them up in there so you can watch that video that I won't put up today. Another way to support me is to go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. Of course, subscribing over on YouTube is free, but if you would like, you can go over there and become a member. And memberships are just $2 a month. And if you become a member, well, cool, it's very cool. You get my Wednesday videos on a Tuesday. So the current video where I talk about how fucking rad Samurai Champloo is, that video was available to my YouTube members on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. So consider that. Let's see. Those are all monthly ways to support me. But if you want to support me directly with a tip, you can go to my Ko-Fi or my PayPal if you want to do that and make a direct donation. And everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all those forms all go into a fund, and with that money from the fund, I buy model kits like this kit. I'm building this fucking rad mobile suit because of past used generosity. Present me gets to build this cool kit, and then future me will be building other cool kits because of your generosity. So that just fucking whips ass. Now, currently, I'm working on this model kit. When it's done, I have something that was purchased for me to build off my Amazon wish list. Chris bought me a cute little Lego set, which is the Lego City electric sports car. And so that's going to be a very fast build, but it's a little electric sports car that even comes with a electric, a solar refuel station. I'm going to build that next. And after this, and that was bought off my Amazon wish list. So it jumped the queue. It's going to be the next thing that I build. And also, I made a dedicated YouTube video about that thing. And anything else that's bought off my wish list gets its own video and jumps the queue, becomes the next thing that I built. You can take a look at this list here and see if there's something there you'd like to see me put together. I have Lego sets and model kits, inexpensive kits, expensive kits. I just added in the Zgok, Char's Custom Zgok. It's literally spelled wrong in the listing. They put a C in the listing, but it is the Zgok. It's Char's Zgok, and that's an inexpensive kit that I put up on there that I'd be happy to build. Lego sets, model kits, again, inexpensive, very expensive, all kinds of things. I put in a new Pokemon kit, the Metagross kit, that looked very fun, and I'd like to put that together. But yeah, I recently added some stuff to the wish list. The Shigu Deep Arms, which I don't remember anything about that kit. That's from Seed. That's a grunt from Seed that I just don't remember. I put that on the wish list. That seems neat. I'd like to build that. But yeah, I got a bunch of stuff on there. I'd be happy to build it. If you see something there you'd love to see me build on stream and you feel like doing it, you could buy it off my wish list and then I will build it. And again, it'll jump the queue and become the next thing that I build. My alternative to Amazon, because it is nice to have alternatives for people, is I have a Throne wish list. Ghostfeld said, I remember it only that it had a goofy name about that kit. Yes, that grunt. It's a nice blue grunt, but it does have a goofy name. I don't remember it because it's Seed, doesn't stick in my brain. But yeah, I have a Throne wish list. It's a lot of gift cards and gear over there because they don't really keep a lot of model kits in stock. I haven't updated it in a while. I need to update it again, and I will. And then the most convoluted, weird way to support me financially, which people have done, is to go to USA Gundam Store and you buy yourself a gift card. Then you have yourself a gift card code. you in your email, and then you send me a DM on Twitter, or a DM on Blue Sky, or a whisper here on Twitch with the gift card code, and then I will use that gift card code to buy something from the wonderful folks at USA Gundam Store. And they have a lot of sales going all the time. So, like, I might be able to get something for a steal. Those are all the ways to support me that involve money. If you just want to hang out in a Discord, if you're looking for like another Discord to join, I've got a chill Discord. You're welcome to hang out in there. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. It is a cool environment. You're welcome to come hang out in the Discord. A couple video links for you to check out. Pat Bear's Anime Club. I will have a new episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club up on Monday, but the most recent episode that is currently available for you to watch is the Pat Bear's Anime Club, where I dive deep into looking at some really weird manga premises. There's some weird manga out there, and I want to talk about it. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series, where every week I recommend a different anime. In the month of May, I have been recommending anime from the 2000s, and so I recommended Samurai Champloo, a fucking fantastic series. I have been saying that it is the most 1999 anime to come out in the year 2004, and I stand by that. If you want the director of Space Dandy, if you want to know what the director of Space Dandy and Cowboy Bebop, like, what would happen if he made basically like a road trip movie, but with samurai and a kick-ass hip-hop soundtrack, that's Samurai Champloo. It whips. And some people don't like the ending, and I'm not one of those people. I think the ending is fucking solid. It's not perfect in the sense of everything good has to happen, but it's like fucking really great. All right, so what's going to happen now is I'm going to talk to you about a manga that I've been reading, and then I will talk to you about an anime that I've been watching. This episode was fucking whipped ass. But yeah, we're going to start with the manga, and then we'll jump into the anime. And before I do that, I do need to drink some water because I'm parched. And then we'll continue to work on the model kit. We'll talk about some fighting in some anime and some chilling in some manga. And we'll do all that right now. All right. So, in a segment that I have started calling, because I used to do Manga Mondays, but right now I only have one show on a Saturday that I watch. So I wanted to have some manga talk. And nothing rolled off the tongue about Saturdays, like Shonen Saturday, but I don't read only Shonen, so that didn't really work. So I have come up with a title for the manga segment we're doing here, which I have entitled, That Time I Only Had One Anime to Talk About, so I talked about a manga I've been reading as well. Because that fit like because let's be real, most of what I talk about in manga segments are isekai, because isekai are incredibly popular, and also I like reading isekai. Also, isekai get translated often. Because they are very popular, they end up being the kinds of series that people want to translate. So I end up watching a lot of reading a lot of manga that is isekai, and including this one, Otherworld Fluffy Cafe. This is the briefest of summaries of summary of this is a guy died. He's given a second chance at another world, and he uses his goddess given abilities to open up a animal cafe, which is unheard of in the world he lives in, but is slowly becoming pretty fucking cool and popular because it's a winner. So our guy Taichi he's very overworked. You know the drill at this point. That is the start of most of these. Bullied teen or overworked adult is where a lot of these series begin. So he's overworked. On his way home from work one day, he saves a fluffy white cat from being run over. And he thinks like, okay, well, at least the cat survived. Of course, that cat is connected to a spirit in another world who is like, hell yeah, I love that. I'm going to give you some abilities. And our main character is given the ability to tame. So he can tame any wild monster and form a connection with them. And then he's sent to another world. And almost instantly, he makes friends with a Fenrir. Which is great because a Fenrir is a mythical animal that can talk and become smaller so he looks like a wolf, which is great. But our Fenrir is, can talk and tells him about the world. And he's like, and the guy's like, you tamed me without talking to me, but all right, well, Fenrir are supposed to be loners, and I guess I won't be alone if you're with me. And you're like, oh no, this Fenrir is named Luke is a tsundere. Oh, this is a tsundere. Obviously tsundere Fenrir. So he's like, well, I was able to defeat that dragon, which was cool. Hey, you're a human. Do that cooking thing that humans do. I know about that. I want to know what dragon meat tastes like when it's cooked. It turns out Fenrir is very happy about that. Fenrir is like, you're feeding me. Fenrir finds out about a thing called a beanbag chair because one of the other things our boy can do is he has creation magic, and he also can purchase things from Japan. So he buys a beanbag chair, and our Fenrir thinks that beanbag chair rules. He is so psyched about it. But our dude kind of downplays the fact that he's like, this is just a big wolf. It's not a Fenrir. And people were like, yeah, that makes sense. It would be nuts if you had a Fenrir. That would be weird. And he's like, yeah, I want to get some land. I make potions and I sell potions and herbs and stuff, but I'm looking to find a house with a backyard. And also I would like to run a business. So he gets a place outside of the city on the edge of town that he makes a animal cafe, which again is not a thing that people are used to or have any knowledge of. But they like his tea, and the major problem he comes with immediately is Luke doesn't want to get pet by people. He's not interested in that at all. So what ends up happening is he tames up, and this is a thing that normal tamers shouldn't be able to do. He tames a bunch of animals all at once. He tames a bunch of fuzzy fur balls that look just like, they're called straw bunnies. They are strawberry bunnies. They are bunnies that their ears kind of look like sliced strawberry. They are incredibly cute. They unfortunately can't talk. But they can't telepathically communicate like Fenrir can. But anyway, he's hanging out with them. He gets some customers. They are high-ranking. Some of them are high-ranking adventurers. Some of them they're not as high-ranking. But he makes some friends. These are probably going to pop right off. These do not seem stable. These side skirts seem bad. I'm going to say right now. We'll find out. Maybe they're great, but these side skirts don't feel like they don't feel like they're on too well. These might be things that I am constantly trying to shove back in. We'll find out. Because there's no good way to connect them. But it's really cute. The last chapter, I should say, that I read, he befriended a Cerberus, a 3-headed dog, and it became a tiny Cerberus because the dog is smart and understood that being smaller meant that it was not going to be a problem. And the Cerberus was very lonely. Apparently, the Cerberus left its dungeon because it wanted to meet people and humans, and it was interested in that, but humans were really fucking freaked out by a Cerberus, so it didn't work out. But then they got tamed, and they're exceedingly happy, and now very small. And of course, each head has its own personality, so it's each named. They think of Luke as their uncle. It's very cute. Also, the guild master really likes going there and is looking out. And our main guy is not aware that all of these very well-to-do people are seemingly going out of their way to look out for him, as most of them recognize that they haven't quite figured out that Luke is a Fenrir, but they definitely have figured out that that's a tiny Cerberus that was scaring people and is suddenly gone. And they're like, oh, he got a Cerberus. Okay. These popped off immediately. I am going to look here. There is text on this, and I am going to use Google Translate on my phone to see if I can figure out what that says over here. Change direction. Oh, that's just, it's angled one way, and then it wants me to change the direction of the angle. Okay, that, unfortunately, that does not help me too much. Sorry for the shakiness. Because, yeah, basically they say, like, put it like that, change direction like that. It does want me to go from the top here. Like this, these just don't sit in. They just don't sit in. They just don't sit right. You know what I mean? They just don't. Anyway, this manga is very cute and fun. I imagine we're going to see more animals. We have not run into so far anyone that hates the idea of it. There is a tsundere mage that hangs out there, where she's like, I'm just here for the coffee. I'm not here to pet the bunnies. But she really does like the bunnies. She does want to pet the bunnies, so she is also tsundere. But it is otherwise a very fun little series. Okay. I can't seem to figure out if there's something I'm doing wrong with this. But I'm just going to have to keep putting them back in and then dealing with them if they pop out. Side skirts are often my least favorite part of a kit because they often fall apart. They're the first place to fall apart as you naturally hold them there. But hopefully... Yeah, when I look at this in the photos there, it's not as severe. It's more like that. Because there are these little parts here, but they don't notch in anywhere. There's no good way for them to notch. Because they go in the back part there. Because they couldn't go in like this. Because that wouldn't make any sense. So they've got to be connected like this. It's one of those things where I'm like, I am doing it right. It just doesn't make any sense or look good. So I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, because like if I put them in as they should go in, they just pop out. The one thing I can look at is see if those are the wrong numbers, but no, those are the right numbers. Yeah, that's 9. That's polycap 9. There's nothing else that would be. Yep, that's polycap 9. Yeah. Yep, there's no. These are the right polycaps, that they just don't sit well in there. Just kind of gotta shove them in on an angle and hope they don't fall out. So that's less than ideal. Well, that one kind of got in right. All right, well, whatever. Yeah, they don't like to be in, which is a shame. We'll move on. We'll talk about some anime while I finish the parts I need to body complete this kit, and then we got to work on the backpack and all of the various weapons and shenanigans on this. We're not done yet. We're getting close to wrapping this up. But yeah, that's a fun anime. Or manga, I should say. Now we'll talk about an anime, and we're going to talk about this episode of Windbreaker, which was pretty fucking cool. There's a lot of philosophy in this one. There always is. This is a shonen with a lot of characters who are teens and delinquents that have a lot of life philosophy despite their young age. That is a core element of this series, is having opinions and philosophies about fighting. This is episode 8 of Windbreaker. So this is the fight between Togame and Sakura. This is the towards the end of that fight. Sakura looked like he was down, but has come back. Definitely from conversation. We learned that Togame is an outlier in the Shishitorin. And in the end of the 7th episode, he was like, yeah, why am I doing this? Apparently, when his big bro character Choji took over the school, he didn't support the decisions that were being made, but he didn't say anything about it. He decided to just go with it and let Choji run wild, where he could have maybe tried to step in or rally people against him or whatever. And then Togame is definitely like kind of lost in thought. So he just gets fucking attacked by Sakura. A bunch of kicks, and Sakura's just like, hey, even if the guy saved your life, even if someone saved my life, I would never I would never change who I am. I would always still be myself. I would never avert my eyes is what the phrase he uses there. I wrote it down. And that apparently hits Togame because he has compromised his ethics. And so that does hits the second in command real hard. It's kind of like this, like, oh yeah, fuck, shit, this dude's saying the right things. And so then we get a real fight. This is like, now they're both kind of woken up and they're both fighting each other at full strength. This is the battle that we would have expected. And it's just like it's just like a fucking fist fight, but now it's time to speak with their fist now that they're done speaking with their words, like real bros. And they're like, they both fall down in exhaustion. And Togame is just like, oh man, I didn't realize that fighting could be awesome like this. He's like, basically just like, shit, this fight rules. And then basically Togame is like, I should have fought Choji. And so then it might have been a tie, but Togame concedes and says that it's his loss and takes the punch and goes down. And Sakura's like, you think like Sakura one, he's like, no, you don't, no, keep fighting me. It's like, so it's like the come down. He's just like, what? No, we were fighting. This was awesome. What? And so he's fucking pissed off. Choji is like, I'm going to fight Umiya. Like, I'm going to fight him. Like, shut up. It's time for the bosses to fight. And then when Togame is like, hey, we lost and we were in the wrong. He gets kicked by his boss saying like, you lost, so shut up. Basically just being like, nah. You don't get to say anything because you lost. Which, like, on the one hand, yeah, but also, fuck you. You suck. Why are you treating why are you treating the person that has stood by you through thick and thin when you've been a real piece of shit. Why are you treating him so poorly? Um, and this allows Sakura wants to fight him, but gets held back um, because Umiya is going to fight him. Uh, and basically, our dude Choji, people have lost, and he is now just like dunking on people and talking lots of shit about them, about how they're all losers. Like all these people, like basically he is telling them how he really feels, and he does not feel positive about his school. Uh, uh, and basically, somehow, even though his school is full of weak people, his plan is to take over Bufurin. Like his plan is like, we're gonna take over this rival school, uh, and then he attacks Umiya. Like he just goes out of nowhere and immediately attacks him. Um, uh, and he does seem like he is described as like a monster. He is strong. Like there's no doubt about it. There's a reason why he's in charge, and he's strong as hell. But I do also want to say, like, he does a cheap shot, which does not fucking work at all. His cheap shot against Umiya does not work at all because our guy saw right through him. And guess what? The leader of Bufurin is seeing right through him no matter what. And basically, like, gives him opportunities in the fight to, like, make amends or apologize or show any sort of growth as a person. And then it's like, I'm gonna have to put this guy down. Okay. And Sakura is just like, I'm gonna get stronger because I'm not convinced that Sakura is convinced that he could beat Choji. And eventually he would, our guy would like to be the strongest fighter. That's why he's in this place, is to be a strong fighter. So that was the episode. A lot of fighting, a lot of boys settling with fists. We got the birth of probably a friendship across school lines there. Somebody asked me, is it like, because it's a bunch of boys who fight each other and find peace and enjoyment and enlightenment within fighting, is this show like gay? Is there gay undertones in it? And my answer to that is no. It doesn't feel like any of these boys have ever approached anything to do with puberty. These are men who are in love with fighting and not necessarily in love with each other. That could change, but right now it just feels like a pure shonen nonsense. Like there's been one female character in the whole thing, but I do think at least two characters are interested in dating her. So yeah, this one is like a series about boys that love fighting, and I think that's about it. But Windbreaker is pretty fucking rad. This is a manga that I just like skipped, and now when this show is done, I am gonna go back and read that manga because I really like the show, so I would like to keep abreast of what's going on with it. But that's it for me talking about manga and anime that I have been reading. But I want to hear from you, friends. We got some time left in the stream. What are you watching? What are you playing right now? What's got you going? What's got you excited? I want to hear from you about that. What you're reading, what you're watching, what you're into. Let me know, because it's always nice to hear from you about that stuff. I will start things off as I give you time to type into chat about what you are watching or reading or doing. I will tell you that I have been mostly playing Helldivers 2. I've been playing a ton of Helldivers 2. I am continue to love that damn game so goddamn much. My crew is back. There, not everyone in the crew, but a decent amount of folks in the crew did give a chance at for X Defiant. They wanted to know because they're shooter boys and gals. That most of the dedicated crew. This multiplayer crew, we started off years ago with Halo 2. Not everyone in the group started with us in Halo 2, but there are, I think, like 4 or 5 of us that all started playing Halo 2 together over the years. So we've played a bunch of different things. We got back together. We did a lot of this group did a lot of Left 4 Dead together. And then we got back together for Halo Infinite, and now we have a Discord and we keep up on some games. So some folks tried to get into X Defiant, but it looks like that experiment is over, which is great because I didn't play that at all. And we're back to Helldivers 2, and that is the game that almost everyone in my crew has been playing in the multiplayer crew, which is great because I want to do it. I still have a couple people in that group that are really into Overwatch 2. They tried to get us all into Overwatch 2. It didn't take, but a few folks are still really playing that. So I'm playing that. Playing Hearthstone. I have an Evolve deck that is terrible, but I fucking love it. It is a bad deck that I would not recommend people play, but I'm having a great time with that deck. It is a bunch of goofy shit going on there, just changing the board and trying to get an advantage early and then hold on to it. I need J16 or 18. Yeah, 16. J16. This is right here. Okay. So I'm having a lot of fun with that. Tomorrow I'm going to be watching wrestling with people. Tomorrow afternoon, pre-wrestling, I will be getting with my full D&D crew, the full crew, back together again, continuing our adventures. My half-orc will be punching things with his shadow clones, and that will be very good. And everyone will be punching, and then other people will do other things, but I will be primarily punching things. It's the wrong piece. I need J2. There it is, J2. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that because I really love goofing around with some D&D. And I'm going to do that tomorrow afternoon, and then a full night of wrestling. My Sunday is packed with goofiness, and I can't wait for all that. I'm going to read what some of y'all have been writing and reacting to it, because that's why I ask you to write things, is so I can read them. Lashbrook says, I've been watching a ton of Combo Breaker this weekend. That's right, that's this weekend. It's Dragon Ball Fighters Z Grand Finals right now. Hell yeah. I watched a very small amount of that this weekend. I will probably go back and watch more of the Dragon Ball Fighter Z, because that's a good fucking time. That's always a good time. Miyuyabi, hey Miyuyabi, says, I'm halfway through Land of Lustrous, the manga. I saw the anime last year. Hell yeah. That is a gorgeous anime, and in my opinion. And the manga is fun. And a lot. That can also be a lot. Land of Lustrous can be a whole lot. Oomph got second in Dark Fate. Oh, okay. Oomphy got second in Dark Fate. Oh, Oomphy, that's right. Yeah. Harold says, big weekend of racing. I've also been rewatching Tabletop and playing a bunch of retro games. Hell yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of racing this weekend. I am at least culturally aware of that there are a bunch of big races and lots of different kinds of races, right? So there's a lot going on. If you are, I believe motocross has some stuff as well. That's awesome. Lord Crash has been playing a bunch of Rocket League as the season ends, so I can wrap up challenges and Rocket Pass levels. Hell yeah. Lord Crash says, got my oil changed at Walmart and picked up Beavis and Butthead complete set and Major League to go with it, as I expected when I went in. Yes. Hell yeah, yes. When you're like, oh, I'm going into Walmart to get my oil changed and also pick up some box sets, like you do. I mean, like some people do. I do want to say, Aristvid says I watched the new Mad Max today. It was pretty good. I also started Paper Mario 1000 Year Door for the first time in 20 years. Fuck yeah. Yeah, I've heard good things about the Furiosa movie. I have not watched it, but I have heard good things. I want to recommend a YouTube channel. I'm gonna please pause this. Please pause this. Please pause this. Okay, that's all right. There wasn't music there, so I shouldn't get demonetized. Casso. Let me see if I can open this and then pause it before the episode starts real quick. Can I pause it? I did. Kasso. Casso. They are putting up full episodes of this. This is a Japanese TV show about skateboarders, legit real skateboarders. It is a variety show in Japan, and they're putting out episodes with full English subtitles. And so I recommend Kasso. Casso. Casso is so fun, says Muyabi. I am real late to the party with this. I was culturally aware of it, but I hadn't watched it. I just watched the first episode today because I finally listened to a friend that was like, Pat, you will love this. It is obstacle course timed event thing. It had a bunch of skateboarders and they all had little interviews and it was very fun. I was incredibly saddened that Pen did not advance because his name is Pen, and I immediately decided that was my favorite skateboarder. But yeah, they got skateboarders from all over the place. One guy did very well and gave a monologue about skating. And then another person did very well and he was like, I'm happy. And it was very funny. The juxtaposition between the two was fucking awesome. Also, they have a bunch of cameras. At one point, it was very clear there's drone shots, and the drone follows them, and so it's shot really well with commentary. Again, all subtitled in English, so you can follow along. Also, at one point during one of the competitions, it became very clear that there was a guy on rollerblades with a camera on a stick following along for the side shots, and I thought that was awesome. Just somebody they were like, hey, we've got everybody, we got our camera crew together. Does anyone know how to skate? Or that someone was just like, hey, I know you're doing this show. I can rollerblade and film. And they must have been like, oh, hell yeah. I don't know which came first, but it was a very fun show. And episode 1 and 2 were up, and I look forward to watching episode 2 and checking out more of it because it was really fun. Yes, skate photography is super high class. Yeah, the drones, the drone operator knows what they are doing. They did a fantastic job with that. The many folks were clearly working super hard on that. It was edited really well. And it, I don't know, a lot of them showcase personality. There's the guy that he doesn't wear baggy clothes because that's him rebelling against normal skate apparel. I just thought that was very fun. Or the guy that runs a school. There was one guy that was like, I skate all the time, and my town asked me to run the skate competition every year. So now I do that. And it wasn't like he didn't give an opinion on it. He was just like, they asked me to do it, and I do it now. And it's just like, what's happening here? These boys are good boys. These are good skate boys. They were also very supportive of one another, and that was very fun. As a very fun part of Casso, that someone does something really well. And there's at one point, one guy's going, and there's just one of the guys watching who has already competed really quietly goes, I think he's going to do it. And it was just like, oh, these are slam dunk era kids. They know sports anime, enjoy portraying elements of it. Yes, everyone is aware. Like, there was one person who was in his he was 30, and he was definitely the old man, and they didn't play that up, but it was very clear that he's the old man of skating. But yes, everyone was pretty aware of what was going on there, and it was enjoyable. Oh man, are we? Yeah, we are on the color pages of the booklet. We are going to finish this kit on Monday, I think. There's obviously, look, it might take all of Monday to do this because there are a ton of stickers to do here, and a bunch of things, because we got to do this big hook part here, but we're doing this, and then we have to do all of it again on the other side. But we will get that done. I think I did this right. It doesn't fit quite properly here, it feels like. You know what? Honestly, there might be some nubbins. There might be some overhang on here that we need to pop out. So I think I'm going to try to pop this apart and see if there is a nubbin that I missed, because there could be. The problem is I don't know how to open this up without... I don't always know how to open these back up. But yeah, so I watched the first episode of that, and then I have the second one bookmarked so that I can watch that later. And there's a bunch of clips and some other stuff, but the fact that it's in English makes me very happy. I look forward to watching more of that. Okay. So there are some nubbins here. I'm not used to that in a high grade. This feels like a real grade thing, so I don't always catch them. But there were some nubbins. So now we got to go back to the instructions that we need here, because I need to redo this. Here we go. So now we can do this again, but this time hopefully connect everything right. And I believe I have caught... it's on the gold, and so sometimes that is not as noticeable if it was like on a white part. There we go. There was another one that I hadn't seen. Okay. I've now gotten all the nubbins that I need to get out. We can finish this up. As for me, yeah, like I said, I'm going to watch some wrestling tomorrow night. I'm going to do my D&D crew during the day. It rained a little bit today, so I don't know if I'm going to mow my front yard tomorrow. It depends. If it rains again overnight, then I definitely won't, but it didn't rain too much, so the ground should be dry enough for the mower. It's a gas mower, so it'll work fine. Okay, I've connected this. This seems all right. Seems like it'll work. Okay. All right, now we can go to the other step that I need to go to. Yeah, so that's probably something I'm going to do tomorrow, but we'll see. Lord Crashton started Haunty on Game Pass. I'm not, don't pretend to be familiar with that game, which is pretty rad. It's a chill action puzzle game with some Zelda vibes. It's the sort of puzzles that has a cool, spooky art style to it. Oh, okay. That sounds fun. I am not aware of that game, but that does sound fun. All right, so I-21 doesn't appear. Oh, no, it does have stickers, but you have to do it first and then put the stickers on. Okay. So I-21 will get on here. Let's get this together, and then we will put on all the stickers. But I-21. Oh, God, look how shiny this is. Does this look good on camera? I think it does. I think it looks nice on camera. You can see, yeah. It's very shiny. Oh, yeah, you can tell. You can tell how shiny this shit is. These weapons on the backpack just look rad. Let's see. Oh yeah, we do have some stuff left, because there's the backpack weapons and just the regular weapons. So there is definitely more of this kit to put together here, and we will get into all of that on Monday. But I think by the end of the stream we'll finish this whole dang thing. And then I need 13. C13 is here. And with these black sprues, it's sometimes a little hard to read the numbers on there. For me, for my eyes. Especially because I have the glare of many lights in here. Many lights in this room. So sometimes there's a glare and I can't really see. All right. We honestly haven't done, we haven't really done stickers tonight, right? Like, I don't think I've done any stickers. We just built the legs and the waist, and there's no stickers on any of that. So we actually lucked out pretty well considering that this kit is full of stickers, but that ends now because we'll at least get a couple of them on. All right, so here's this thing, and then it opens up like that. And then there's sticker 28, 16, 17 goes on the other side, and then 18, you have to pull it back, and that's a bend. Oh yeah, that bends over, so that goes on there. We'll do the bend one. We'll do that. Yeah. 18. I'm not going to do all these stickers tonight. Harold, you have a great night. Thanks for coming by. Always happy to have you here, my friend. Thanks for being here and all that. I appreciate you. Let's see. 18. But yeah, my next stream will be on Monday. It will be, I think, finishing this kit up. Maybe starting that Lego set. I will still do a poll for my $10 patrons about what I should be building next because that Lego set will take me like no time at all because that Lego set is like 90 pieces. So that's like a half a stream build pretty much, if not a one stream build. Certainly done there. So I will need to know what kit I'm working on next. I have a few options. My backlog is not that deep right now, folks. I have some Lego stuff that I think is cool, and I have a couple model kits. I am waiting on a check to come in so that I can spend money from that check on buying more model kits, which I will have hopefully very soon. I'm still, like I said, still waiting on that coming in. And when it does, then I will use that money to buy model kits to then build on stream. 28. This number here. All right, and then so this is going to go here. Oh, there it goes. Yeah. That looks pretty good. We have 2 more stickers to put on here. I'm going to try to get those on right now, and then we'll wrap up after that. We are going to raid tonight, of course, and I'll tell you who we're raiding. I already know ahead of time. We're going to raid an event, and that'll be cool. Yes, Mew Yabby says we always end with a raid. Mew Yabby's right. Indeed, we do always end with a raid. 17 goes on this side. So I will be raiding here in a second, but let me get 16 on. We got body complete on this kit, and that makes me very happy. And then so the next step is to finish it up, which again I believe we'll do on Monday. Oops. Oh. But I already know who we're raiding, so I don't even have to figure that out, which is awesome for me. Okay. Hell yeah. This kit is looking rad as hell. So, I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight. We are going to wrap things up here. This kit is looking excellent. Very fucking cool. I will most likely finish it up on Monday or get very close to finishing on Monday. I'll know what I'll do after. I got a small Lego set to build. I'm excited for that. Let's see. What can I say here? Oh, yeah. We are going to raid. I'm going to make sure that that's all lined up. We are raiding Plastic Model Weekender. the fine folks at Plastic Model Weekender running their charity event all weekend. Um, I've got an ad running right now, it looks like. But hopefully, yeah, we'll be back after the ad break for me. But we're going to go check in on Plamo Weekender, the Plastic Model Weekender, happening all weekend long, all holiday weekend long, raising money for the Cure Alzheimer's Fund. Please come along on this raid. Come back on Monday. Monday is going to be rad. I'd love to have you there as I work on this kit and maybe start a Lego set. And if not, definitely finishing this kit up. I want to thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Come along on this raid, and I'll see you the next time. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.